Yo, this is JLB Sports TV. If you prefer me to idiots like Charles Barkley, then keep watching me. Just a lot to discover. Sports harmony.
Hey everyone, welcome to JLB Sports TV. I'm Justin Block, and let's get started. Now, in a memo by the NBA this week, the league announced its predicted salary caps for the upcoming 09-010 season, as well as the salary caps for the 010-2011 seasons. The memo stated that the league's cap would be somewhere between $50.4 million and $53.6 million for the summer of 2010. Now, this causes a huge problem for teams, especially the New York Knicks, who have been planning and building their teams around having enough cap space for the summer of 2010. Premier free agents such as Yao Ming, Michael Redd, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, of course LeBron James, Ray Allen, Shaq, of course, Carlos Boozer, Tracy McGrady, and Kobe, among many, many others, including many quality mid-level exception type players like Manu Ginobili or Richard Jefferson, are expected to be on the market in the summer of 2010. Now, the cap for the summer of 2010 was supposed to be around $60 million, meaning that teams could sign two max contract players, or, for example, teams could feasibly sign Dwayne Wade and LeBron James to the same team for about $25 million a year. Now, they could still do this while having enough money to sign many, many quality role players and really build the bench and the other three positions on the starting lineup. Now, by losing $10 million in cap space due to the crumbling economy, this means that teams can really only sign about one max contract player, meaning they could only sign LeBron James, they could only sign Dwayne Wade, they can't sign two guys on the same team. And when I say they can't do it, I mean they could if they wanted to, but they'd have to pay insane amounts of luxury tax. I believe the Knicks pay about $20 million in luxury tax this year, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to have to do that again. And really, in the NBA, for most teams, it's about making money rather than winning, and teams really don't want to go over the salary cap. Teams don't really want to go over the salary cap because the revenue lines and the profit margins are so thin. It's not like baseball or football where teams have just unlimited amounts of indispensable cash. It's just not like that in basketball. Now, this causes a huge problem for the Knicks, who literally planned about the last 2 or 3 years around the summer of 2010. They've been building to it in the past, they're building toward it now, and they're going to keep doing that by basically just shedding bad contracts and cap space so they could sign two max value players had the cap been at $60 million, but it's not looking like that right now. I think really the plan for everybody in the Knickerbocker organization was to bring in LeBron James and then bring in a sidekick star, sort of bring in Carlos Boozer or Chris Bosh or Dwayne Wade and pair them together. Because we all know LeBron, including Dwayne Wade, and I'm sure many other players, aren't going to want to go to a team that really can't win now, which the Knicks can't do, unless they, of course, come out and win 50 games this year, surprisingly. So that really goes for all other star players, too. So we could see a lot less movement in the summer of 2010, as players will either want to stay with their respective teams for the same amount of money, or they could spurn teams like the Knicks or the Nets or whatever for teams to have a chance to be immediate championship contenders. Now, I also want to talk about Ricky Rubio some. He's reportedly going to stay in Spain for another year, not go to the Timberwolves, basically because number one, I don't really think he wants to stay in Minnesota, and neither does Johnny Flynn, who's the other point guard the Timberwolves selected with the next pick in the draft. And the T-Wolves don't even want to have to pay his $6 million buyout clause from his Spanish club. So hopefully by next year for the Rubio camp, he'll be traded to another club and he'll come to the NBA. But as I was watching Steve Nash and Ricky Rubio highlights last night, I found that their games are very similar. Both have great floor vision and passing ability, but the one thing that Rubio lacks from Nash is that Jedi jump shot. Nash can make 20-footers, can make three-pointers all over the floor. He really has a great jump shot to complement his lack of athleticism and driving ability, or speed, I should say. If Rubio can work on it in Spain and become a great jump shooter, I mean, he already has a good starting form right now, just really needs to work on that. That's the only part of his game where he can really, really work on, as well as, of course, making better decisions for all young point guards. I believe he can be a really good Steve Nash type player in the NBA, and he would actually fit perfectly into Mike D'Antoni's system with the Knicks. Of course, Mike D'Antoni was the longtime coach of the Phoenix Suns, Steve Nash's team, and he brought that over to the Knicks, and since Rubio and Nash are comparable, why not put him in a Knicks uniform? Now, I'm actually not a Knicks fan. I'm not associated, or I don't really support any NBA club regularly. I'm just saying, for the Knicks, Rubio would look quite nice. And that's all for today, this July 12, 2009. I'm Justin Block, and this is JLB Sports TV.